you're probably watching that video and wondering just what the heck DIBS is. That video doesn't really tell you a whole lot. So before I get into what DIBS is and who I am and where I came from, I wanted to give you a little background, a little history about how the idea of DIBS started and where I came from. I was involved in a biotech company originally that we developed a non-invasive imaging sensing technology on the scope of X-ray, MRI, and ultrasound. I didn't invent it. I am fortunate enough to work with a very brilliant partner who also happens to be one of my best friends, who was the multidisciplinary scientist who developed that technology. Unfortunately, neither him nor myself were the original founders of that company, and because of that, we never had complete control over that company. And we ended up becoming a victim of our own success. We increased the valuation of that company by 40 times, and only to have a group of individuals come in that was backed with an awful lot of money, $1 billion basically, and pull the rug out from underneath us. So that happened 2 years ago, August. And so at that point in time, my partner and I were both without jobs. Hence, so we decided to become entrepreneurs because there's a direct relation between entrepreneurs and not having a job. So, anyhow, we decided that we better get back to work. Let's lick our wounds and move on. And that's one thing about being an entrepreneur. You have to pick yourself up because nobody's going to do it for you. If you get knocked down, you got to pick yourself back up and move forward and trudge ahead. And I got to tell you, that was some of the darkest days of my life. However, with every dark cloud, there is a silver lining. You may not see it initially, but there is. And I got to give credit to my partner. He was the one that saw it before I did and said, hey, come on, snap out of it. We got to get to work. And I said, all right, let's get to work. We didn't have an office. We didn't have any income. We were living off my savings pretty much. And so we threw a whiteboard up in the living room of my house and got to work. And we spent about, I want to say, the next 8 months working out of my living room, the initial idea was just throwing a bunch of ideas up on the whiteboard. And we knew that we wanted to get into the mobile phone arena. We knew that that market has experienced triple-digit growth for the last several years. And so we knew we wanted to be a part of that because we know that the information age, we're at the tip of the iceberg, and it's going to dwarf the internet. So we wanted to be a part of that. So we knew that, okay, the next step is let's figure out how we can provide a useful application that we might be able to make some money with, but that is useful. And Aaron came up with the idea. He said, I hate it when I miss a concert. The Led Zeppelin reunion tour was happening, and he missed it because he didn't know about it. And he said, God, wouldn't it be nice if we had an iPhone application that told you of all the events going on around you so you wouldn't have to miss an event ever again? And I said, yeah, that sounds pretty good, but I don't know, And he beat on me some more, and we kept coming back to it, and finally we said, okay, let's go after it. It was kind of a turning point for me because I was able to let go of all the baggage I was keeping inside from the last company, the hostile takeover that had occurred. So it was kind of liberating for me, but it was also very scary. I had a lot of fear. And, you know, as entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs, I'll say that fear is what holds us back from realizing our dreams. Fear of success, fear of failure. There's, you know, fear materializes and shows its face in many different forms. Fear is fear. You have to find a way to overcome that fear, because generally once you overcome it, you look back and you go, that wasn't so bad, and you move on with your life. That's what happened to me. I was able to move on, and Aaron and I started working, developing the foundation of this company and developing the ideas that we've developed today. At first, you know, it was painstakingly slow. It was just Aaron and myself working out of my house, and I swear to God, I gotta thank my children who are in the audience today and my friends who were around me at that time period, because I was not the happiest person. I felt like I was on house arrest. Then we got to the point where we needed help. As entrepreneurs, you have to realize that just because you have a good idea doesn't mean that that great idea is, you're going to be able to sell it, or you're going to be successful just because you created an idea. You generally, to be successful in today's world, you have to have a team. And you have to surround yourself with people that see the vision that you have in your mind. And you have to try to explain to them what your vision is and convince them to come work for you for free. The first person I convinced is sitting in the back of the audience here. Steve, could you stand up? I convinced Steve that to come work for free, which I kind of laugh about it now, because you know, it's kind of like he fell for it, you know. But all I had to give Steve was the promise of, you know, future earnings in stock. I have to pay my consultants. All my consultants get paid in equity in our company. The last two people to join our company, Jim DeRose Sr. Jim is the ex-president, CEO of DreamWorks. We brought on board Adam Pennenberg, who is the author of a book called The Viral Loop. He also coined the term viral marketing. It's just amazing to me that we're bringing this caliber and class of individuals into our company. My point here as an entrepreneur is that once you come up with a great idea, it takes a tremendous amount of other work involved: building your team, bootstrapping the company, securing funding for the company. Let me ask you this. When we started the company, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any income. My partner didn't have any income. I have to convince people to work for free, and then I have to convince my friends and family to give me money so I can survive, and tell them that I got this great idea. You know how difficult that is? People look at you like you're from another planet, you know? And but as an entrepreneur, you just keep moving forward like this. You don't listen to the negative talk coming from the right or the negative talk from the left. As entrepreneurs, you guys are our future entrepreneurs, future business leaders. Some of you are business leaders now. We all know the situation we're in right now as a country, as a state, as a city, as a county. And I'm a firm believer that we cannot repeat the mistakes that we've made in the past, that it's up to us to conduct ourselves with transparency and ethics, with the highest level of integrity that we can from this point forward. The only way that we're going to dig ourselves out as a country is to create jobs and get this economy back on track. And who creates jobs? It's the entrepreneurs. It's not the government. I'm sorry if anybody disagrees with me. This is just my opinion, okay? But it's up to us to create jobs and innovate and create in our daily lives and support the local businesses, the local entrepreneurs who are brand new, who are out there, that maybe it's a new restaurant or just a new business that is out there trying to make a difference, support them, because it's tough times right now, as we all know. So, you know, I'll get off my soapbox now, but you know, we started building this team, building the technology. We filed patents on everything we were doing, which is very important. A good idea, somebody can steal your idea, and they will. That's, you know, it's just the nature of the beast. You tell